Portal podcast for Kaitou Sentai LupinRanger versus Keisatsu Sentai PatoRanger. I'm Vashi V, and joining me today are...
The kid.
The little king.
And Rye.
And today we are talking about episode 10. So we get a brief recap from the narrator. The thieves are distraught at the cafe because Blitz's collection piece is believed to be destroyed. Kairi can't believe what happened and lashes out at Toma, and Toma is completely unable to fight back. Kairi leaves. Rumika doesn't want this to be the end. Keiichiro spots Kairi late at night, just on a walk. He offers Kairi a canned coffee, but he doesn't accept and brushes him off, despite Keiichiro being so damn nice. Keiichiro recalls the weirdo eating ice he saw the other day, and Kairi's interest is piqued. And then we get the opening. Thoughts?
Yay, Keiichiro not being hot-headed and actually being nice for a change. Go Riders! And it is, it's not just for him, too. I mean, usually we see Kairi as the suave type. If he weren't so young, he would literally be the embodiment of the gentleman thief. He's just a bit younger than the normal kind, but... I mean, it is normal for someone his age to lash out, especially considering their situation, and I mean, of course all of them would be upset. Look what happened. But, it is nice to see those two different sides to them that we rarely have seen kind of connect, even if it was one side, even if it was a little off-putting. And, of course he would get interested in Samigo. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, seeing Kairi, legit get mad is like looking at a different person, because he's always smiling, he's always cheery. This isn't the first time we've seen him upset, but this is the first time he's outraged about it so hard. And then just the way he almost goes off on Keiichiro. I will say, though, that was a clever setup with last episode, with Keiichiro just walking by Zamigo casually. We all thought that it was just a silly gag, but no, they were actually setting up for this.
Seeing Kairi outraged is this is the first time we've seen him outraged to this point. I mean, yeah, he's had his little anger fit towards Keiichiro, in battle and whatnot. I was but this is literally the first time he's taking that anger out on his partners, and it was actually kind of a little scary to watch, just to see that flip switch inside of him. And then seeing the interaction between Keiichiro and him on the bridge, where it was that role reversal thing from when they first met, where Keiichiro was hot-headed and shit, and it took Kairi, basically, the interaction with Kairi to actually calm him down. So it was nice that kind of flipped with this. And then yeah, the fact that the Zamigo thing wasn't just a little one-off thing of, oh, looky kind of thing that would normally be done. It actually served for the plot. And just to see everything, all the wallowing self-pity that he had about the situation, instantly get turned into something useful as soon as it was mentioned. That was a nice touch. I'm only concerned about one thing with this, and it actually is a side note to the fact that how the fuck does I get that Pink made the connection herself with the hand gesture thing, but oh my god, how hard is it to tell that that's fucking Lupin Red? It doesn't change much.
But
when
it
he puts
wasn't
on the
him.
mask.
He was in a different location when
There
they
can't
looked
be that
for
many people
him.
in Japan who look like him.
Especially
He was in
later
a
when he
different
gets his
spot.
hat shot off, and you can totally see
You
Kaity's
can
head.
totally tell it's him.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like I saw that and I'm like, how do you not put this together, people? You were shitty cops.
But no,
It was a dark
he was in a
factor,
different
yes.
spot
Okay.
last time. It was a completely different
So-
person.
Yeah, after the opening, we get the episode title, number 10. This isn't over yet. Umika searches for pieces of Blitz's collection piece to glue them back together. Toma tells her to give up, and then Umika brings up the fact that Gosh usually brings them back together, or brings the Gangler back from the dead, and that maybe they can fix the collection piece somehow, and that kind of gets Toma thinking, why didn't Gosh show up this time? Kaede searches for Zamigo and gets a clue from just some students passing by. That's all weirdo eating ice. Umika visits Sakuya outside the station to coerce some information from him. The police are also wondering if Blitz is still alive, and Jim starts to do a facial recognition search for his human disguise. Thoughts?
Oh my god, they were actually keeping track of what happened in the episodes. They had the same ideas we did. That's awesome. And I love that they were capitalizing on that. Like, Umika's using the thought process of, okay, if she can do it, why can't I do it? I love that. I mean, granted, it was a little silly, I'll admit, but it did help the wheels keep turning. And the cops are smart about it too. This is wonderful. I'm loving this. They're actually as smart as the audience. It's a freaking miracle.
The fact that King has to like get excited about this says a lot about this series that we love so much.
It also says a lot about some of the other seasons too. I'm looking at you, Q Ranger.
Do not get me wrong. I will still defend that season to my dying breath. I'm just applying credit where it's due.
No, you're right. Sometimes they make the characters just way dumber than that character should actually be. But not this time around. I also like the way that she uses Tuma. Like, I thought that when she approached him, she was like, "Oh, I wanted to see you." It's like, no. She's just like, "Oh, I was taking a walk. Oh, hey, about work. How's it going? You kill another Gangler? Did it turn to like a 50-foot monster too? No? How strange."
And you mean Nigo, not... Or, yeah, Nigo, not Tuma.
Yeah, Sakuya. Sorry. Convenient that, though, for Kairi, that he walks by a couple people that happen to have also seen Zamigo. But, whatever. Move the plot forward.
In terms of Kairi running across people who have seen Zamigo, I can give that a pass only because of how unique he apparently is within this universe. So, stumbling upon somebody who'd seen him, not really that far-fetched. Within the time frame that they kind of allowed to pass, maybe not, but yeah, I liked the fact that Umika basically used fucking Sakuya. Just like she already did once. Only this time she was really fucking blatant about it. The only part of the thought process on that I had a problem with when they were thinking about it, well, yes, every time a monster has died, Ghosh has shown up. But there was also a fucking safe left behind every time, too. Which I think is more of the key point rather than, you know, Ghost showing up. Personally. But the fact that they actually made the characters as intelligent and slightly manipulative as they are actually is a very great thing, and it's one of the things that I feel has progressed a lot with this series over previous ones. Is like the characters actually feel as intelligent as they should be, even in some of their dumber moments. They actually feel real when it comes to their knowledge and how they handle certain situations like this. It made complete sense.
Yep. So let's see. Oh, Dogranio is amused that Bletz escaped using his signature move. We don't know what that is, but obviously Bletz is alive. Kairi finds Zamigo at an abandoned factory. Zamigo doesn't remember what he did last year when Kairi asks, and laughs at him. He tells Kairi that he didn't kill anyone with the collection piece, that he used his own power, and killing people is easy. He transforms to Gangler form. Bletz arrives in human form to meet Zamigo, probably for a new disguise, but the police arrive and Keisatsu change. They interrupt Kairi's confrontation. The other thieves arrive as well. Zamigo laughs hysterically. The thieves regroup and are determined to keep fighting, knowing that Bletz is still alive. Kairi decides to fight Zamigo while the others retrieve the collection piece. Tomo wants to fight Zamigo as well, but Umika kind of reminds them of their mission. And then they Kaitou change and roll call separately. It was really awesome. Thoughts?
I will agree with you on the badass roll call. This is Amigo, though. Okay. I think I've pinned down what he's a combination of. Snipe, Genmu, and Weather Dopant. All of which, at one point or another, have terrified me. All in their own ways, granted. But this dude, as a combination of the three, creeps me the fuck out. I swear, oh my god, just the ice motif, his hystericalness, his psychoticness, that gun. Oh my god, that gun. And oh my god, just the hat thing with the giant sombrero and his monster form and his... That's clever and a nice parallel to both teams. Good on them for that. The design team did a good job with him. He's just creepy as fuck, and he makes an amazing villain. I'm still terrified of his ass, though. And I like that Toma did start leaning a bit towards more his, desperate side again, I'll call it. Like, earlier on, and him wanting to get revenge like Kairi, but for once, Umika is the voice of reason, and I like that. Good on them for giving the girls a sturdy head. So yeah, and again, the roll call. Absolutely amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, that roll call, the way it was split up like that was super well done. I can't believe that our introduction to Zamigo, one of the few Gangler to have more than one safe, is I'm so strong I don't need collection pieces. Whenever he reaches into a safe, he just uses it to create a new ice gun. Who needs to reload when you have infinite guns? Also, I love that, like, the way the costume is designed, that from a distance, you see his face and it looks blank. But then when it zooms in, you can tell that it's actually, like, subtly in the shape of a skull. Like, the closer you get to him, the more eerie he gets. This was a really well-designed villain, and I look forward to seeing more of him.
Like, I like the fact that not only is that the case in terms of him looking more eerie the closer you get, kind of feels that way when he's in his human form too, with just like his mannerisms and shit. It's like, because when Kyrie first came in, it was from afar. He's still just kind of munching on ice. Doesn't really seem all that big of a deal, but then the camera switched to, you know, the view of his face, and it's like, yeah, he's just an evil fucker, isn't he? Like, it's a nice touch that his human actor fits his monster form, because there are times that doesn't really happen a lot. Usually it's because the human form's trying to blend in, but whatever. And then just the fact that Umako was the one who basically went, no, we understand this, you go fight him, but we're still going to do this because this is what we're supposed to do. And the fact that that cooled off both Tuma and Kyrie. And again, that's something that, at least from what I've seen, doesn't happen a lot, with the fact that that being the female character that does that. I'm sure it's happened in the past, like, but this one just seemed really, really poignant with the way it was done, because it was handled elegantly and with class on her part, which fits the Phantom Thief, you know, motif of them basically being classy thieves, hence the outfits. I love the roll call and the fact that they split the screen the way they did with it, and the fact that, well, yes, they were all in different locations, they still had to line up the right way. And even with them not doing the actual poses that they do on the CG one, it still was really, really well done. I loved it. Zamigo in of himself, just fucking amazing. Especially considering, like Bryce says, like, he's the first villain we've seen that's basically been on his own doing his own thing that has 2 saves. And not only does he have 2 saves, they're not locked up really, because all the other ones, his aren't.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. His saves basically just aren't locked because he has nothing to keep in them.
Right, it's just whatever.
I wonder,
it seems to me like my brain works is, you know, all the monsters were created with a sage or whatnot, and blah blah blah, however the hell that worked out. And Migo ended up with 2 and just went, fuck it, I don't need anything. I'm just gonna kill people with ice.
steal the collection pieces. What for?
Yeah, what for? I'm just gonna turn everybody into a popsicle.
I wonder if it'll stay that way, or if he'll obtain a piece
everyone.
later.
Ranger sickles for everyone.
As long as he doesn't start running around singing, "Do you want to build a snowman?" I think I'll be fine with him as a villain. And fuck all y'all, I'm hilarious.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so during the fight, Blitz reveals his ability to split his body and leave behind a decoy. Before the Rangers defeat the real Blitz, or the PatoRangers, the LupinRangers steal his piece. Gosh appears, and then we see kind of what we've been talking about. Oh, did you want to say something, King?
You kind of cut out for a second there.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, yeah, Blitz defeated the LupinRangers, steal the collection piece. Gosh appears to do what she does, and then we kind of see what we were talking about earlier, that Zamigo can produce countless ice pistols from the 2 saves on his thighs. Red has to shoot his cape to save himself from being frozen, because once you get shot, even if it's on the cape, it starts spreading. Pretty eerie. Red uses the scissors vehicle to summon a shield and boomerang weapon. The boomerang weapon splits into 2 mid-air and actually damages Zamigo, but he instantly heals. He introduces himself as Zamigo Derma and leaves. Blue kind of scolds Red that he didn't defeat him, but just jokingly. The LupinRangers are in good spirits yet again, and yeah, we got some more great suit acting. Goody joins the LupinRangers. Lupin Kaiser splits into 100 copies of himself. Red summons the Scissors and Blade vehicle, and then we get Lupin Kaiser Knight. They cut through Blitz's clones like butter. The clones try to flee back into the original body, so they just defeat them all at once. It's pretty fun. Thoughts?
Megazord fight was alright. It was really cool. Lupin Knight. Lupin Knight Red, however, I love. Like, that fight scene was absolutely amazing. Like, Zamigo just insta-healing, which I thought was supposed to be like a water attribute personality trait, but whatever. For him, it works. Like you guys, like we've been saying, the double, infinite ammo reload is just freaking amazing. I didn't catch the chain thing, by the way, earlier. Good catch, Vashi. Just the desperation in that move. Just, screw my cape. I don't want to die. That's... oof, man. And seeing him in good spirits, I am always for, because they needed it. Like, finding out a bit more about Zamigo is definitely a plus, considering what he's done. And it's nice to see that... a relief, really, to see that they're back to their old selves. They got what they needed. They're, for the most part, on top, and they at least have ways of, well, not so much figuring out what makes the Ganglers tick, more like figure out some of the more inner machinations, considering Zamigo is really high up there. So this could be a good, and who knows, maybe even for the PatoRangers. Time will tell.
Yeah, Kyrie, shooting up. I thought Kyrie was just going to, ditch his cape or something. I was shocked to see him shoot it off. I actually had to, go back and watch it again to see his gun actually, aiming at it. Because he was mostly just shooting blind behind himself. As for the whole get the collection piece, as the PatoRangers are going to destroy the Ganglards, again? Alright, but yeah, they got it this time. So good on Umika, she did it. The, okay, so Tuma scolding Kyrie. I love the suit acting in this series. It has been spot on with conveying facial expressions despite the mask that they wear. You can tell when that Tuma is being serious, and you can tell when he switches to his just kidding grin. I mean, yeah, it's context required, but the fact that you can just tell what's going on with their faces, it's brilliant. The mech fight was pretty good. A little short, but we got to see what the Scissors and Blade can do. My only gripe is that it looks like next week the LupinRangers are going to get the mech fight again. Let's give the spotlight to the PatoRangers once in a while, right? Although it seems like the base...
I was gonna say, well, the base seems to be part of them at least.
Yeah, the base episode itself seems to be about them. That's actually a problem I have with the next episode preview. It pretty much gives you the entire episode.
I'm enjoying the fact that the mech fights, while yes, they're short, they're simple, they actually feel like mech fights. I love the fuck out of that. Kyrie using blade and scissors as, you know, as a power up and all that was amazing. I like the look of it, and honestly, I didn't expect the quote unquote blade to split. I should have considered scissors, but I just expected it to just fucking boomerang back, and instead it was two. So that was a nice touch. The fact that Zamigo still through all of it is creepy as fuck is amazing. And yeah, the suit acting alone by far has raised the bar from this series to a lot of the other ones, with just like the minute changes in like the characters' facial expressions. Like, you can see them. Yes, it's contextual, but you can see the change happen, and it's amazing. And I also like the fact that with Umika getting the collection piece at the end of the fight before the PatoRangers defeated him, they did it contextually to where you were sitting there going, they failed again, and I had that, no, I got it. That was a nice little touch, because it like added to the desperation, and as someone watching it, it added to the what the hell. It's been amazing this episode. I can't stress enough, this series is fucking amazing.
Yep, we would all agree. So Kogure returns the piece to the book and allows them to keep scissors and blade. Toma and Kairi stop Umika from asking about Zamigo. They kind of just want to handle him on their own. Keiichiro arrives at opening time to check up on Kairi, although he doesn't admit it. Kairi dubs him Kei-chan and lightly teases him now that they're even. Even Toma is amused. Episode end. That was a pretty nice final scene. I liked it a lot.
I adored that. I'll get this Amiga thing out of the way. That was, but the thing with Kairi and Keiichiro, I loved that. Not only does it add good drama, as in, you know, when eventually the PatoRangers do find out if Keiichiro really considers Kairi a good friend, when they find out that revelation, that's gonna lead us to good bits, and I can't wait for that. But just, I like the fact of enemies being friends, and just seeing them as friends in general. Honestly, the two have good chemistry. It's not to the point of, say, Sento and Ryuga, for those who watch Build, but I don't know, I think with enough time and certain arguments and obviously the fights along the way, I think it really could be at least close to that. So yeah, I really love that. And Kei-chan, just Kei-chan, perfect already.
It's interesting that they don't want to tell Kogure, as if telling him will ruin their plans involving Zamigo as a backup. Maybe they're thinking at it in a way that I'm not, but I don't entirely see where they're coming from. Regardless, I don't trust Kogure anyway, so... And I do love that Kairi and Keiichiro are friends now. I look forward to seeing more Kei-chan.
Like, yeah, I'm like the fact that they pointed out the whole let's not tell Kogure about Zamigo, to have that fall back, I guess, is for lack of a better term, to in case he's up to shit, because it's showing a little bit of distrust between them and Kogure, because Kogure's not really telling them anything beyond, hey, go get this, go get this, go get this.
Notice how he didn't follow up on the binoculars.
Yeah, he hasn't followed up on that. I forgot all about that, actually. That, and with his suspicion of, hey, well, let's just let the Pat Rangers keep the collection pieces. It's very obvious that he's shady and that they're understanding that, and that's fantastic. Instead of it being the way that this would normally go in Sentai, where it's just, okay, we'll do what you say kind of thing. The fact that they're actually questioning their quote-unquote, their Zordon, for lack of a better term, is amazing. And yes, the beginning of the budding friendship between Kei-chan and Kairi is fucking amazing. And it's going to be even better when it comes out that he is Lupin Red. This is what I was hoping for with this series. Is I wanted the teams to get close to where when it does come out that yes, they are the Lupin Rangers, there is that conflict of interest.
Shock, disbelief, anger, more anger.
And heartbreak in Sakuya's case, because Umika.
Right.
Crying.
It's going to be an amazing reveal if they do it right. And with everything I've seen so far, that's how they're handling it. I was worried a couple episodes when Pink figured it out, even though they were obviously not going to fully figure it out then. Because, like I said, like there's so much more they could do with this before they get to the reveal, which would make the reveal better, and would feel like feels like it's going to have an amazing payoff with how they're running it.
So I guess we'll move on to final thoughts. If you guys have any. I really like this episode. Loved just how much character we saw from really everyone except for Tsukasa and Sakuya. Keiichiro, got to see a different side of him. Kairi, Toma, Umika, just really good development on their part. And I'm looking forward to next week.
This was a good day for the Lupin Rangers and for the Power Rangers too. We are setting down some dynamics that I think really work. And who knows? And Zero, I'm sorry, but who knows? We might even make Sakuya and Umika effect. I don't know. But that would be amazing if they did. Getting back on topic. Good dynamics, good fight, good backstory. Awesome fights. Can't say that enough. And fucking Zamigo. This was awesome. I'm terrified for next week, though.
There's an earlier episode that left like what might have been a hint that Kairi might have feelings for Umika, and I would love for that to like be the case and him start like competing with Sakuya, like very passive aggressively.
Oh dear.
Are you sure you want to open that can of worms? They could bite. Or in Kairi's case, shoot your head off.
I don't think Kairi would get like violent over it. I think he would just like get like psychological. Oh right. Actual final thoughts. This was a really good episode. It felt kind of short. The monster was just kind of being wrapped up this time around, but I can understand. They're ready to just move on to the next one. Here's hoping that next week is another good one.
Like, I like this episode because, well, yes, it was just the let's wrap up the monster of the week bit. It was also serving as the start of, I guess, the Zamigo arc, which was handled very, very well. and that's amazing. I love that. The way this series is running, I am fucking hooked. I'm hooked quicker on this Sentai than I have on any others that I've watched. The characters are amazing. They work well together, even with the opposing team aspect of it. The dynamic here works better this quickly as better than any series that I've seen. And I mean, genuinely works well, not that Q-Ranger, let's just throw a hodgepodge of people together and say it works. Like, everything that has happened character-wise with the interaction seems genuine and unique, and it's amazing.
I'd say the other one that compares is Magiranger.
Well, I mean, that one fits because they were family. You know, this one, they're not family in any sense, but well, in the traditional sense. But you could tell that, you know, the Pat Rangers are kind of like their own little family, and the Lupin Rangers too. Is like, but even with them being on opposite sides of the coin, they work well together. You know, granted, yes, they have the Omega Nego ship to help them along, and now Kyrie and K-Jan. But it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see this story unfold. I still want to know who the fuck Goody is, because I don't think he's just a fucking collection piece.
Well, he said that he's supposed to be like the actual guardian for the collection pieces. He's really bad at his job.
He fucked up big time.
Why are we whispering?
So he doesn't hear us.
I don't know about you, but I don't want to piss off a Phantom Thief. I have things I want to protect.
Yeah, like your life?
Implying that Goody is a Phantom Thief.
Well, I mean,
To
he
be
helps them.
fair, he's stolen from the thieves. Technically.
It's gonna magically show up in your shirt.
Yeah, without you noticing.
And then smack you upside the head for good measure.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider Build. Things are heating up in that series. And back next Tuesday with more LupinRanger vs. PatoRanger. See you next time.
No pun intended. Thanks for listening.
Adieu, and later, taters.
See you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Don't let Domingo freeze you tonight.
What do you mean, no pun intended?